Hi there and welcome back to History of Fleetwood Mac. I'm Anita. Today we're going to get into episode 3 of volume 10 of my Stevie Nicks and Fleetwood Mac scrapbooks. We are still working on Tango in the Night era. I had to adjust that just a little bit. And I'm going to start off with some really cool contact sheets. I keep forgetting there's a lot of photographers involved with Tango in the Night. And in fact, I have this one here, which I don't think has a stamp on the back. It does not. I don't know who this one is. This unfortunately had recent water damage. We had a water heater break in our place, and I need to trim it. And thank goodness it didn't affect the autograph. But this was a cool one of Mick Fleetwood with Asante, who was on tour with them during Tango in the Night. And it was funny. I met Mick Fleetwood. I've met Mick Fleetwood plenty of times. But when he was doing what I call his coffee tour, or his wine tour, because he was selling his wine, he stopped by several Costco's in the Bay Area, and I swear to God, I think I saw him in Redwood City, Santa Clara, Sacramento, San Jose. Just it seemed like I went on like several stops of that, and I was bringing lots of photos to him. And I think I might have mentioned this in a prior video, because every time I'd come, he'd be like, "Where did you get this photo? Like, I haven't seen this. Oh my God!" And this one in particular, he really wanted a copy of, and I asked him to please sign it. This was one of the few non-Stevie or Christine things that I have framed. I had framed at the time, and he says, "I don't really want to sign it because I'd really like a copy of it." And I'm like, "Don't worry about it. I'll get you a copy," because I had scanned these. I scanned these early on, not knowing if I was going to keep them or what was going to happen. So he kind of reluctantly signed it for me, and not reluctantly as in like mean. He was very nice on that tour. But he really wanted a copy. And so I got a card from a guy whose name is right here, but I can't remember the name. Often the case with me. And I know it was Mick's manager or cohort in one of the businesses, probably the wine one he was going into. But I had made contact with that person, sent them the scan, but like said, "Hey, give me an address. It doesn't have to be like a personal one, but like a PO box, and I will send you copies of everything that I have here, really nice printed copies." And never heard anything from them. So that was kind of a disappointment. I don't see why Mick wouldn't have this. And then you see some of that stuff that goes up for auction. Now, this happened in like 2000. Gosh, I don't know when that happened. Maybe 2000. The wine would tell me if I had the bottle here, because I have the dates on the bottles. 2000. Was it? I think it was just before or just after Say You Will. And so up till then, but I'm sorry, my point I'm getting to is that then you had those auctions. We had the Christie's one with Christine stuff, and we've had some other ones since then, and they've gone. Mick in particular has sold so many photos of Stevie and Christine and himself and his personal journals and stuff like that, that I don't know, like, would he have still been interested in this? Would he have kept it? It's hard to say. And why wouldn't he have something if it really meant that much to him? I think Asante passed away. I think, God forbid, I hope I'm wrong, but I hope I'm not wrong, and that I, said that about somebody who's alive still. But there just seemed a sentimentality to Mick that he really wanted a copy of this. And so, anyway, but yeah, I'm not sure who took that. I'm going to say Neil Preston, and I'm going to say that Neil Preston are these shots here. These ones don't have a. Let me make sure that I'm right. No, I don't see anything on the back of these. That some really, if you weren't enamored with this photo shoot to begin with, look at all these outtakes. I mean, just freaking stunning. Everything is perfect in these photos. The makeup, the hair, the outfit, just all the poses. I think this is a little bit heavier makeup maybe for Stevie than usual. I don't think she needs makeup to be beautiful, but I think that she just really, really has it going on. And the hair is perfect. The hair is still 80s, but not, the higher the hair, that, closer to Jesus kind of thing. This one is really a stunner. She just really got everything right with this one, I think, in my opinion. And it was kind of a modern Stevie, if you will. I mean, she's got, she's still got the Stevie Mystique. She's got, that's a shawl wrapped around her, and sure, and she's got the little bustier. So she's kind of bringing in that kind of bustier and lace gloves and all that kind of stuff from the 80s and the big earrings and such that, Madonna and Jodie Watley and people like that were bringing in. But she was still 1000% Stevie and 1000% at the lead of the fashion parade of people copying her. She might have been incorporating stuff that was made popular by other artists, but Stevie was still the one in the front of the line, in my opinion, my humble opinion. Going on to a different part of that, so same session, different outfit and background. Now these are by Aaron. What did I say? Aaron. I think it's Rapoport. Rapoport. Definitely by him. So these ones could be Preston, as could the one by Mick, but then these ones are by Aaron. Excuse you, Gypsy. Now you might ask yourself, or not, why in the Jesus are these all cut up individually? Well, I'll tell you why. These ones were, to my knowledge, not original proof sheets. These were second generation. They were acquired still at a time when I was with that other girl, getting stuff out of the scrapbook that I've mentioned several times before. But some of them just didn't have the look. They didn't have the crown thing where like on this one, you can kind of like scratch it off or kind of feel it. Yeah, they just didn't look. Which side did I just show? I think this side. So let me show this side. But the next ones coming up were clearly very much originals. Not the immediate next ones, but you'll see what I mean. This one and this one's so similar. When I cut them up, I don't think I put them back in order, but that's okay. I kind of like the way I had them. That one's unfortunately a little faded out, but it's still really pretty. Kind of gives you a closer look at the outfit too. Stunning. Ding, 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 winner here. Love that picture. I would love to have that in a full size photo. Like an 8x10, 11x14, that would be amazing. So yeah, this side and this one of these. Then this one is really lovely. Of Stevie and Chris. And then I think that this one is going to be on the back side. Now these came on like a page and I cut them up. A lot of these came separate. Used to be a thing when proof sheets were kind of, they're still prevalent. They're not prevalent on eBay anymore, but there was a period of time where there just seemed like there was a lot of them on eBay. People were cutting them up, and instead of asking for like I'm going to show you here in a second, like there's 3, 6, 9, 12 pictures, $100 for the proof sheet. They're asking like, $45 to $50 per photo, which is genius. But at the same time, why would you cut up an original proof sheet? Whatever, it's their own. And I bought a lot, and I tried to get a lot from people. So this is a combination of some that I acquired over different periods of time. Weren't too much, kind of got like a bulk deal, and then some I think on the other side might be kind of like these where I don't think it was original, and I got like a second generation copy. These that I would show here, these other ones that were bought individually or as a proof sheet that I cut up. When I say second generation, I mean like somebody just went down to Kinko's and made a nice color Xerox. These ones though were like professionally nicely done photo. They were still on like really nice, completely blank on the back photo paper. But I mean, these pictures with Christine, could you just, I mean, and just having seen Stevie and when she does Landslide and she sings, you know, with Christine in the background, oh my God. I just can't convey what a upsetting loss. As you all know, I'm not, I mean, who am I? I'm nobody. You know, there's certainly her friends and family and, you know, artists like Stevie and Lindsay and Mick and John who are certainly closer and more important. But as a fan, I mean, it was just absolutely just really, really hard to comprehend. I have this side here. And it still just doesn't seem right. And not, I mean, you know, it's just so unexpected, I guess. This one's cute too. Yeah, my kitten's having a kitten. The 9-year-old cat that I have that I call Kitten is having a sneezing attack, so apologies. We've learned not to pick him up and show him on camera because he completely like blocks the microphone. Come on, the gypsy will come say hi. Come on, she's right here. Oh, don't you do that to the microphone. Look at how fuzzy she is. She's so fuzzy. she needs to be groomed. Look at that hair. Look at that hair. But I love it. I'm super fond of it fuzzy right now. Yeah, she's sitting on the microphone. So if it's going out a little bit, I do apologize. That is dog butt, like dog hindquarters. She's so cute. And she's been a perfect little mama's nurse to me. Well, I've been having some issues with back and other things. So she's just been a complete doll baby. See there. See there. We're almost done. See there. So I'm going to wrap up with these two definitely original proof sheets. Now, the numbers are what's on the back. Like in that kind of crown, like I said, that, you know, that photo crown, that wax crown that they write on. There's the number 12 on the back of this one, and on the back of the other one there's 23. So I'm going to guess, you know, 12 and 23 out of the at least 23 proof sheets that they had. Absolutely stunning. Just, I mean, things I'm super grateful to have. Now, these I was buying, I think in Los Angeles, I think at the time, it was either, I think it was Book City I was getting these from for a period of time. And I think there might have been a couple in the infamous big box. There's two infamous things, right? There's the box and the scrapbook. But yeah, I was getting a lot of them as much as I could. So, but then as were other people. So that's why I have some that are, like I said, you know, cut apart and sold separately. So that is it for this edition. I just made this and it's so funny. It's just, I try not to stick anything to the picture, but it just doesn't want to keep it down. But you don't want to really put any adhesive on this or anything like that. So that is it. Gypsy and I hope that you have a wonderful night and thank you for coming to stay. And I think I will wrap this up. Let's see here. Sorry, I shouldn't have kept you waiting. I should have just made up my mind on my own. I think I'll wrap it up in one more video. It might be a little bit longer. I try and limit them to like 15 and 20 minutes, as you all know. But we'll make this one a little bit longer, but we'll just wrap it up. So thanks again for joining us. Gypsy says hi. Thanks for having her, allowing her on there and blocking the mic. Little fuzz butt. We'll see you next time. You have a great night. Bye.